Alright everybody, I am going to start now. Take the, let's see. I'm going to start taking the throttle cable off and the power steering cable. First thing I need to do is undo this thing from it. So there's that. That thing can go back in it. And let's see. Alright, so there's two screws. There's one right there. Another one underneath here. So, let me start with that first. So now that it's day out, sorry, I had a spider on me. Okay, so now that it's day out, I'm going to go ahead and use the power tool, so hopefully it's not too loud, but that will make things a whole lot quicker and easier for me. So let me match up. There we go. Went ahead and matched up what I need. I need to find the rest. Okay. So on this, I'm going to be using a 8mm socket. Oh, let me go shut the door for the... Alright, so we got one bolt out. Shut the door for the compressor. Hopefully it won't be as loud. And there's the other one. There's a second one. Now, actually, these are pretty simple to get off. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yep, there we go. Now, with this one has like a little clip, which that one wasn't on very much, so that was pretty easy to get off. Now this back one, mainly what you gotta do is take the cable, kind of unwrap it. Hold on. Unwrap it like that. And then that just pops right out, which is awesome. That's it. So now let me move some of this out of the way and we'll continue. Alright, so got that done. Didn't really do a good job moving things out of my way, but it is what it is. Mainly now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this off camera, just for the time's sake and all that, I am going to, I'm going to undo these little clips that are holding down the wire harnesses, just so I can go ahead and get the wire harness loose and all that. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now. Okay, so let me zoom out. So I found some clips that I have not unclipped yet. That will be easy to unclip, but I just want to document it for my sake and just I guess to show you guys, but so you got the EGR valve. So I'll unclip that. And like I said about the wire harness, so I undid it right there. That was one. That one came out pretty good. I'm going to unclip this sensor. I undid the harness from there. There's another one right there. Right there. Let me see. If there's okay, and then I'm going to unclip this. And let me see if there's any more. I also went ahead and unclipped that one. That was a little bit of a challenge, but originally I was thinking about cutting it off, but then I decided I could always use it for my other car when I do it. One thing I forgot to say that you could easily do is take off the brake booster hose. This was really simple. Just pop it out. That's all you do. And now you're released. This is kind of different than mine in a sense that when my motor went out or jammed up, I actually took all the top part off. So knowing that I did that, it's kind of, I'm having to remind myself that I don't need to do that on this one because we're keeping it all intact. Same way with the spark plugs. I really didn't need to pull those off, but in a sense it does help possibly to do that to get out of the way from the other cables that you're about to pull. So I see another cable down there, wire harness, so I'm gonna disengage that. So mainly every single thing we need to disengage, so like that right there, I'm going to need to disengage that, take that off. That harness right there that you see, that is actually a ground harness. There's nothing but ground wires going to that. So being in electronic field that I'm in, that's actually pretty smart how they did that. Because there is actually another one around here, which this time I don't have to take it off, even though I took it off of my other one. But another one's like right there. So, you know, I guess we'll see. I might have to take that off just so I can get the cabling out of the way from right there to get the engine up. We'll have to see. So, let me look around, think of what I'm going to do next, and I'll come back. Alright guys, I did this off camera because it was easy, and I figured just showing you and explaining to you would be good. So I went ahead and took my radiator overfill container off, just give more room and everything, plus that's something I'll probably keep, just so I'll have one, I guess, for my other car. But mainly there's just 3 screws. Got that one, and they are actually, hold on, all 3 of them are 10 millimeter. So you got that one, number 1, number 2, number 3. You might need a deep socket one for these 2, or you could do what I did and kind of cheat. I put the socket on there first, and then put the extension on, or whatever you want to use, and it wasn't totally clipped into it, but it did its job, got them off. So then I just disconnected the hose, got antifreeze everywhere, but hey, so that was the hose to it. Probably keep that hose depending how good it is. Okay, so I actually did that too because that's your PVC. I just wanted to make sure it rattled. It does, so it's a good PVC. The only downfall is this is kind of a pain in the butt to put back on. So I actually bought a new one of these, and it's a whole lot easier to get it back on there. But I'm going to try and save the new one just in case, so later on I'll try and get that back on. Okay, what else to get off? Let's go and do this. I'm going to go ahead and get these radiator hoses off that goes to your heating and air cooling. So all you got to do is pinch those things, those clips. It should come off, but now that if I remember right, I actually had to take that off. And there's another one right there, and it made it a whole lot easier. I'm going to first see if I can just crimp these to take them off. If not, I'm going to have to take the bolts off, and it should come out pretty easy. So I'm going to do that off camera. I just want to say, any questions you have regarding what I'm doing, what I've done, or whatever, please let me know. This is my first time doing any kind of video on mechanic. Once again, I want to stress, I am not a mechanic. Don't want to claim to be, don't want to be. But just trying to save money, trying to help everybody else out, because I know YouTube has helped me out a whole lot in how-to videos. I'll be right back once I get those off. Alright, so just got done. I did have to take off the screw part, because it wasn't wanting to come off. I didn't want to break anything, because I'll probably, after we get the engine out, get my car going, and I start dissecting this whole car, I'll probably keep those hoses. But here's what it looks like. It's a very good practice to remember to put the screws that you take out back where it goes, so once you start putting things back, hey, there's the screws, you're not missing any screws. Okay, so what shall we do next? We're gonna have to do that, aren't we? Crap, forgot all about that. Alright, so we're gonna have to take this off. The reason why is because I remembered there is a ground wire right there hooked to that. So maybe we can just pull that nut out and it'll come out. I don't remember. I've dismantled this engine a few times, so I'm going to go ahead and take those off and do it off camera. Then I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so first of all, I'm taking those bolts out. It was a 10mm for me. Should be the same for you. This one right here. The connector that has all the grounds, you actually have to unbolt it. This connector does not come apart. And it's a 15mm. And so was this one to get this ground strap off. Both 15. So now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get that wire harness off. It goes to the coil pack right there. Alright, just got done taking it off. There it is. Done screws. And that was a 7mm socket. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think what other clips are up here that's easy to get. Alright, let me explore and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I just disconnected that wire harness connector. And that one right there, that goes down there where you can't really see it good. But looks like right there, right in there. Let me continue to explore and I'll get back to you. Alright, I just went ahead and pulled off the connector to the alternator. So that goes right there. And then the power connector goes right there. And that is a 10mm socket. I think the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect the upstream O2 sensor, which is right there, which actually should be attached. Should be attached right there, but it's not. So the clip or something must be gone. That's okay. So just pull out the blue clip, then unattach it from right there. Alright, because I know I'm going to have to do it eventually, because of the wire harness, the whole thing. Even though this part's going to be on the transmission, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways, because if I don't, I'm afraid that the wire harness is going to be in the way of us getting the engine out. Sorry, I'm just thinking if I really, I'm gonna do it anyways, because like I said, I'm gonna part this, get all the parts that I can. So, in that, there's a ground strap right there that I'm gonna disconnect. And there's another ground right there, so I'm gonna disconnect that. And then I'm going to disconnect that wire harness from the transmission. If I remember right, I think I used some pliers. And this like turns or something like that, and it actually comes loose. The other thing I need to do is unclip it right here. I think last time on mine I actually unbolted it, but I think I'm going to try and unclip it. And then that harness right there, that should come out fairly easily, hopefully. I'll have to look. I can't remember. I'll have to see exactly what I did right there. So, let me start taking those two grounds off. Then that guy right there. Then I'll get to that and let you know what I did, how I did it. And we'll go from there. Alright, so I got the grounds done. That, I do believe, just popped out. I thought you had to unscrew it or whatever, but no, I think it just popped out on me. I'm not too sure. Got that guy out. Once you lift this thing up, just kind of got to wiggle it out or whatever. Put some muscle into it. Now, I believe the only thing that is still keeping this part down here, oh, minus this guy. So let's do that real quick while I got you on video. Let's do it. Alright. Well. There we go. Came out really good. So I need to push those things all the way. Now there's one more cable, I do believe. Where are you at? Yep. Sorry, wasn't paying attention to the camera. So there's one more cable that I need to get loose, and that goes to your wheel hub. It's right there. So what you could do is take the tire off. I'm not gonna do that. I actually am just gonna feel around. If this is your first rodeo of messing with your wheel hub and the sensor, I would say go ahead and take off the wheel just so you have better access so you can see what you're doing. Like I said, I've replaced the wheel hubs a few times. Well, not in just this car, but I have done it in this car, so I know what I'm looking for, I know what I'm feeling for, so I'm just going to do it by feel. Alright guys, so I realized I did need to take off the belt, and the reason why is because we're going to have to take off the AC compressor right there, because that actually has 3 bolts. Fairly simple, but you do need to jack up your car. You need to take off the passenger front wheel, which I have already done that, and you need to take off the guard right here, which is really easy. Just have the clips. Got a big clip right there. Well, it looks like you got some bolts right there too. So when I took mine off, this part of it wasn't even there. This was just open, so it was trash. And I was thinking, man, I need to buy me a new one. Well, here you go. Now I got this guard to put on my car. So I am pretty excited about that. So I am going to take that off, and we'll get back with you afterwards.